Sometimes God uses experiences in our life, good or bad, to mold us into who He wants us to become. My story begins the day that I was born, and after that, the many things that I would have to go through in my life that would shape me into who God wanted me to become. I grew up with a knowledge and belief in God, although I didn't know Him personally and didn't have a relationship with Him in any way. All I really knew about God was what I had heard in Sunday school, the few times that my family and I attended church. My parents were both addicts, and for a few years of my life, I lived with an abusive father. So during that time, I had experienced a lot of pain and hurt that would put me in need of a gracious and loving Father to come and heal. I spent most of my early life moving from home to home, but at the age of 11, I was sent to live with my grandmother here in Pearland. And to be perfectly honest, I was a complete mess. I had a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness that had formed in my heart due to the things that I had gone through prior to the move to Pearland. But God, and that's really how it all began. But God, He came and He poured out His abundant mercy and His grace. And He came in as a loving Father, and He healed me and continues to do a work in me. He healed me of all the pain and the hurt that had built up in my heart. And like a father, He showed me through His word the promises that He had for me and for my life. Healing. It's not instantaneous. It takes time. The definition of grace is favor and divine influence upon the heart, which means that God favors each and every one of us as His children, even while we're broken. It took a full surrender to God for me to fully understand that. I could not understand how a perfect God could love someone as broken as me. But that's why He died. We started attending First Church of Pearland in March of 2015, and my life has never been the same since. For the first time in my life, I experienced God's perfect love for me, and I wanted nothing else. So no matter what you've done, and no matter who you think you've become, Colossians 1:22 says, "And He is now reconciled in His body of flesh by His death in order to present you holy and blameless and above reproach before Him." And that was it. Finally I understood. Finally, I realized that it wasn't by my works that I would obtain right standing with God. I had struggled for so long believing that God didn't love me, that God couldn't love me. I was broken. I wasn't good enough. But it was a lie.